Michael Carrick has seemingly transformed Manchester United since replacing Ruben Amorim, but he faces some tough tests in the coming weeks. That was the verdict of Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer and Micah Richards speaking on the Rest is Football podcast on Monday. Sign up for the Arsenal newsletter. Thank you. Michael Carrick has transformed Manchester United's fortunes just weeks into his tenure as bossCredit. Getty. Carrick's successes place more questions on Ruben Amorim's stubborn refusal to adapt to the squad credit. Reuters. The beloved punditry crew reacted to United's stunning victory over title favourites Arsenal on Sunday, and acknowledged the massive swing in the performances of the players under their new boss. Lineker said, "It's funny football, isn't it? Because suddenly you go back to a system that perhaps suits some of the players. You bring back bit of experience in Harry Maguire, you bring back one of the star players in Kobbie Mainoo, and play him in there. You push Bruno Fernandes a little bit further forward where he's a little bit more comfortable and can bring out his brilliance more. You get Ahmad playing as a winger and not as a wing back. And all of a sudden, it's very strange, but things start to happen for you." Fernandes stole the show in United's midfield, setting up his side's second goal with a neat bit of interplay with Patrick Dorgu on the wing. Read more on Man Utd. Mikel Merino bundled in to make the contest even at 2-2 in the 84th minute, but the formerly exiled Mainoo would come up with a deft pass to release Matheus Cunha 3 minutes later, with the Brazilian rocketing in a winner to send the travelling fans wild. Richards highlighted the renewed freedom with which many stars are playing after Carrick's tactical tweaks, which saw the setup return to a 4-2-3-1 shape, while pushing Ahmad and Dorgu into the winger positions, while giving Mbeumo license to roam up front. Questioning their use under Amorim, Richards explained, "We kept saying it continuously, the players were playing out of position. Two number 10s, Ahmad, Diallo in a number 10, Brian, Mbeumo in the number 10, why? They do the most damage from wide positions. I know Mbeumo is playing up front now, but he's got the freedom to go where he wants." Most read in football. Best free bets and betting sign-up offers. Matheus Cunha came up with the decisive goal to hand Carrick his second straight win credit. Shutterstock editorial. If you see the goals of Cunha and Dorgu, they are brave goals there, getting on the ball on the half-turn and then driving, trying to make something happen. Having beaten Manchester City in his first Prem game at the helm, Carrick has now recorded back-to-back wins against the top two teams in the Premier League table, propelling the club into the Champions League spots. It's been some turnaround from the dreary form the squad saw under Amorim before his departure earlier this month. The Portuguese boss had a tendency to play his biggest stars out of position to suit his preferred 3-4-2-1 formation, to mixed results that ultimately created tension between him, his players and the fans. Shearer asked, "What on earth is Ruben Amorim sat doing, thinking, looking at those two performances? I mean honestly, I don't know what he'll be thinking." Lineker replied, "He'll be thinking, maybe I've got it wrong?" Before Richards chimed in, "You buy into managers, because of what he did at Sporting and it worked very well. Subconsciously you're thinking, okay, we'll give him a little bit more time, because it's worked before. He's come to a different league. He's got players who can't play in those positions, and we're still waiting, giving him the benefit of doubt. But he got a result, playing 4,231, and then he changed back to 3 at the back. It was madness. the arrogance to say, "No, I'm not doing any other thing. This is my way or the highway." Alan Shearer, the rest is football. Shearer clearly agreed with his co-host's verdict, adding, "Yeah, absolutely crazy. The arrogance to say, no, I'm not doing any other thing. This is my way or the highway. I mean, to not even shift or to accept that this is probably not working, maybe I should try something else." He put all his eggs into that basket, and if that didn't work, he was done. And it didn't. Having not done any transfer business yet in the January window, it seems that these performances were always hiding within the United squad, but Amorim's belief in his preferred system left the team at half strength. The impressive results that Carrick has secured already has brought up questions about whether his initial interim role until the end of the season should be converted to a more permanent basis. Lineker joked, "Carrick's at the wheel, sign the contract." But when Shearer was asked the question, he provided a more diplomatic answer, saying, "I think that it's too early to say after 2 games, he's been absolutely very, very promising. Carrick has made an unbelievable start, maybe even surprised himself. I don't know, but I think ask me that in 2 months' time." While the 44-year-old may have changed the narrative at Old Trafford, questions still remain about how he will be able to navigate fixtures against less aggressive sides. It will be interesting to see how they do against teams that sit and play a low block. Gary Lineker, the rest is football. City and Arsenal both took the fight to United, but upcoming games against Fulham, Spurs and West Ham pose a different kind of test, being more likely to set up and ask United to come and try to break them down. Recommended stories. Lineker warned, "It will be interesting to see how they do against teams that sit and play a low block. We've seen in recent seasons that Man United's best days have often been against the bigger clubs that go for them, so that's probably the next test for Michael Carrick. How does he break down teams and not be vulnerable on the counter-attack themselves?" Comments.